Hey everyone, welcome to Storytime with Andy. We have a great book today. It's called Not Quite Narwhal. Do you guys know what a narwhal is? Have you ever heard of one? If you haven't, they're kind of tricky to explain. They look like a dolphin, but they have a unicorn horn growing out of their head. It's really crazy. It's like the closest thing that we have to a unicorn in the real world today. If you haven't seen a picture, you should ask your mom and dad to show you because they're really fascinating. So this is about Kelp, who is raised underwater with the narwhals. And then he realizes maybe he's not quite a narwhal. Okay, so you guys will have to pay attention to the story to see how it works out. We are going to draw. We love to draw here on Storytime with Andy. I hope you guys do too. We're going to draw our little friend Kelp here, so be sure you have a crayon and a piece of paper ready at the end of our reading time, okay? And before we get reading, I want to say a special hello to Edie in California. Her nickname is Piggy Smalls. So Edie, I hope you enjoy this book. It's all about how, your family isn't just the people who live with you. Your family is anybody who loves you and anybody who you love, okay? So hope you guys enjoy Not Quite Narwhal. This is Not Quite Narwhal by Jessie Sima. Kelp was born deep in the ocean. He knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. He had different tastes in food, and he wasn't a very good swimmer. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided he wouldn't either. That is, until he was swept away by a strong current. Oh, I wish I were a better swimmer. Kelp found himself at the surface, closer to land than he'd ever been before. High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like Kelp. Kelp swam toward the land as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping he could catch up with the creature that looked just like him. When he finally reached the shore, Kelp felt a little anxious. He had never left the ocean. He was nervous about walking for the first time, but the land creatures made it look pretty easy. Oof. Ow. But it wasn't. Eventually, he got the hang of it. Everything on land was strange and beautiful, but also kind of scary, and Kelp began to think he might never find the creature that looked just like him. But as he stumbled out of the forest, land narwhals! Actually, we're unicorns. And by the looks of it, so are you. Kelp had never heard of unicorns before. They taught him all sorts of new things about his tusk. We call them horns. Wow. They introduced him to unicorn delicacies, and they showed him how to gallop. There was no doubt. Kelp was in fact a unicorn. He was having so much fun he didn't want to leave. But then he remembered all of his friends under the sea. Kelp missed them terribly, so he said goodbye to the unicorns and returned to the ocean. Come back soon! Kelp swam toward home as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that the narwhals would still like him now that he was a unicorn. When he finally arrived, Kelp had butterflies in his stomach. Welcome home, Kelp! Kelp took a deep breath and told his friends the news. It turns out I'm not a narwhal. Of course you aren't. I'm a unicorn. We all knew that. They took it quite well. Kelp was happy to be home, but now that he'd experienced life on land with the unicorns, he couldn't seem to forget them. Did he want to be a land narwhal with the unicorns? Or a sea unicorn with the narwhals? Kelp couldn't decide. But then he realized that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to choose. The end. Okay, everybody, we are ready to draw Kelp, our little not quite narwhal buddy who thought he was a narwhal, but turns out he's a unicorn, and he kind of gets to live in the best of both worlds now, right? He still gets to keep his narwhal family, and now he has new unicorn friends. I love it. So we're gonna draw just this cover right here. I'll zoom in real quick so you can see. He's got kind of, triangle legs, little tail, bubble around his head, classic unicorn horn, and maybe we'll draw some of these fish too. So you guys ready to draw along? Let's do it. So first we are going to draw the collar on his little helmet thing. So we're gonna draw like a rectangle right in the middle of your page right there. Easy, right? And now we're gonna draw his body and his head from there. So we'll start with his body, and we're gonna just come down here just a little bit and then curve down to a point, okay? Just like that. And that is one of his legs, that front leg right there. Then we're gonna make a little tummy, a little bit of a curved line there, and then we're gonna do another leg right here. Just like that, okay? Easy. So now we've got the front two legs. We're gonna draw one of his back legs. So come back over here, back to where his behind is. And we're gonna do kind of a curvy triangle. There's one of his back legs. And then we'll do one up here too, okay? So let's keep this line going. Just pull it up to that collar that we made. And then we're gonna make another curvy triangle right there. So you can see he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. Let's go ahead and do his cute little tail, okay? So just come right off of his little rear end back here and just give it a couple points like that. You can make it, as fancy a tail as you want. Now we're gonna come up and we're gonna do the head, okay? So come a little bit in from your collar, not all the way to the edge, just make a straight line up and then a little tiny line down. There's one of his ears. And we're gonna go up like that. And another triangle, that's his other ear, okay? Now we're gonna stop and we're gonna draw his unicorn horn. So you're going to make a little kind of U shape like that and then draw your horn up to a point and then back down like that. And unicorn horns always kind of have like those swirly things on them. They kind of go like that. So you can draw some lines if you want. Okay, now we're gonna finish making his head. So come to where you stopped your horn, make a little line like that, and then come on out and draw his nose, okay? So there's his head. We'll go ahead and put his eye maybe kind of right in the middle. He's just got an oval eye, just like that. And he's got a little tiny eyebrow. There you go. We can draw his nose, which is just a little tiny mark like that. And he's got a smile in this picture because he's happy now. So there's his little smile, okay? All right, we are going to draw his hair. He's kind of just got like some little strands of hair, just kind of sparse up there. So we won't go too crazy, but you can just kind of start over here and just start making some, just some little flashes of hair here and there, just like that. That's good for me. Okay. Now we need to draw this bubble helmet that is letting him breathe underwater, okay? So you're gonna start at your collar and you're just gonna make a circle around his head and bring it back over. And there is his, oh, you know what? We're gonna connect it in the front. There is his bubble helmet, okay? So now he can breathe underwater. He has a couple little spots on his rear end back here, so we can kind of draw those if you want. And there he is. We can draw some of these little fish friends too that he's swimming with if you want. We can come down here and kind of I don't know, just draw a little fish shape, give it a tail, top fin, bottom fin, face like that, big smile. How's that guy? And then you can like draw some designs on them if you want. And we'll draw another one over here, right? Fish shape, tail, top fin, bottom fin, eye, smile. And then you can draw your designs on them if you want. You can color those in. Maybe we'll do some air bubbles too to show that he's kind of underwater, right? There we go. And there is Not Quite Narwhal. We'll go ahead and draw the title of our book. Maybe, I don't know, wherever you have room. N-O-T-Q-U-I-T-E, Not Quite Narwhal. I wonder if you guys knew how to spell this word before we started this book. If you didn't, you know now, right? N-A-R-W-H-A-L. Not Quite Narwhal. There's your kelp. Okay, thanks for drawing along with me. Love that book. I love seeing how Kelp realized he can have family there in the water and he can have family on land too. So I wanted to show you guys a special picture of some friends who are at home drawing along with us. This is Skylar and Emery, and this is their picture of a book we read called When I Draw a Panda. Wanted to show you guys that. You guys are great artists. Way to go. I love seeing all of your artwork, so if you've got one you want to share with me, just have your mom or dad send it to me. I'd love to have you on, okay? All right. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay well and keep reading.